You're listening to Amazing Radio. This is Amazing Afternoons. Delighted to say that Francis and Joe from Red Rum Club are on the line with me right now, in the middle of an in-store tour as well. Records out on Friday. How you doing, guys?
Not too bad, Frankie. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Does it feel like a long time coming, this record? It's coming out on Friday, or does it feel like it's come around quite quick?
Yeah, it feels like we've been sat on this for a while. Our last album was over 2 years ago, so yeah, we're getting back into the swing of promoting and selling shows and an album, which is about to begin. Well, it began last night in Birmingham, and we've got another record store in Sheffield tonight. So yeah, it's all ramping up to Friday.
It's mad to think we did it like 10 months ago. I think we were doing it all last April when we were recording it. So been sitting on it for ages. We were looking through the summer last year when we were like, oh, I wish we'd released it in the summer because it was just like proper like upbeat tunes, you know what I mean? But I don't know, now it's come around. I feel like it's a good time to be releasing. There's a bit of excitement around it and I'm very happy with it,
Yeah, I think there is a lot of excitement around it as well. Yeah, like I say, a couple of years since the last record, done a lot of touring, a lot of traveling. But I understand the main inspiration was actually home, really, and writing in the Northwest as well. Is that right?
Yeah, I think it made sense because obviously been doing a lot of touring and that. Like when you finally hit down last year in particular, for us, apart from obviously we went to the States a couple of times, which as you do. But when it came to like home touring, we didn't really do that much. So I think we really we had this new base as well, didn't we, in the docks, and we really locked into that. And it was kind of like it was weird, wasn't it? It was a cold winter, wasn't it, when we were when we were writing these quite like summery songs, but all in the background, kept hearing all this like crashing from scrapyards and like cars getting mashed together in tubes and like it kind of really influenced the sound of the record, I think, because it's got that real industrial sound. And it was someone, our producer Rich, who we first worked with on this album. It's a new producer as well. It's someone he really wanted to tap into and get that kind of like mechanical sound to it with just sound effects rather than just like your classic instrument sounds, just making it a bit more deep and just almost a bit more spontaneous with some of the sounds that came into it. Like we'd go and record like background noise in the studio for some of the tracks, just to have a bit of ambience. Left the window open for like one of the more intimate tracks, just so you have like a little bit of noise in the background. It was all quite creative and always going forward, never going back. You know, like you never redo a take, just kind of like get the take and that's it, and then don't look at it again. That's what you're doing, and that's what you've got. And it was quite a unique way of looking at it for us because we've always been quite prepared and methodical about it. So yeah, it was interesting, and it definitely did tap into home a lot just because of that really and the Docklands. So yeah, it's become quite a Liverpool sounding album, I think.
I think so.
Yeah, yeah. Tell us a bit more about the process and where it was you did it, because I think, you guys have always had a great reputation for being such a great live band. But I guess when it comes to getting into the studio, are you ever worried that it's hard to capture the live sound? Because I guess nothing can replace the real energy of a gig. I'm
Yeah.
not. Do you know what I'm trying to get at there?
Yeah, well, there's six of us in the band, so we're pretty good live on a big, loud, sort of in your face live presence. Um, but we've always sort of been in a rush when we've been playing, when we've been recording some of the albums. I think we've been like, okay, let's go in, do this, record it, and let's get out again, because I think we've always been very very scared of it all ending tomorrow. We've been going to the studio and we're like let's release it, let's record this song and release it as quick as we can so we can get back out and tour and remind people that we're still about. But this time, with the big period between releasing the last album and this one, we changed hub as well. So we were in the city centre in Liverpool, renting a room. Now we got our own studio in the Docklands at Bootle, and we sort of relaxed a little bit and went, right, who are we? What are we? Let's sort of, and that's probably why this album features a little bit more of a Liverpool sort of historical sort of feel. So yeah, that's sort of, it's always been in the back of our mind that we're quite a good live band, but getting that across, getting six opinions and six instruments onto the record is quite hard.
Very reflected from all that touring we did post COVID as well. Like we were a studio band during COVID, and then when we got out to do that Circle Waves tour from the start, and then it was just like, I think we did like 8 tours in a year and a half or something, just one after the other. I think you can't really avoid like trying to get that live thing across once you settle down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the thing you miss, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, did you get to test any of the material before you went into the studio then live? Because sometimes, you need to play these things to see where the reactions are. And if you did, was there instant reaction from the fans?
Well, not really. We recorded the album and then we played one of the tracks, which was going to be the first single, which is Black Cat. We played that at a few festivals and stuff like that, and on tour, and got the reaction that way. If it was a bad reaction, it was too late because it was already recorded. It was like, going out anyway.
It's quite a safe bet, that one, because it sounded a lot like I got stuff from Matador, our first album. Like, it was quite reminiscent of that, and like, so I think none of us were really that like fearful of it. We were just excited to get out there because we're like, oh, people are going to love this. I had quite a lot of confidence with this album. I think I think Tom did a great job with the songwriting, and everyone did a great job pitching in on the production and like creating what it became in the end, I suppose, which is coming out.
Yeah,
coming out this week. Still can't quite believe that either. But yeah, no, we've been quite confident. There's not been that much pressure when it comes to will people like it. You know what I mean? I think it's just kind of like we just want to give it the best reception we can with it, and just see what it can do, really. Because I mean, ultimately, yeah, you want to get to as many listeners as possible, but you just want to enjoy it. And as long as the people who are engaged now are enjoying it, then that's all that matters.
If people don't like it, we've got 3 other albums.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I was going to say a few albums in now, and obviously you've been playing shows for a number of years now. But what are the real tangible ambitions now for a band? Is it still as basic as having fun in the creative process between yourselves? That's probably the reason you started the band, to hang out with each other and express yourselves. Is that still fundamental, when you're going into writing a new record? And also, can you give the listeners a bit of an idea of just how tough it is to be a touring band these days?
Yeah, well, getting in a room together and jamming, that is a big thing. We still do it every week. Even though we've got these new songs coming out that no one's heard yet, we're still already sort of just trying new things out, and you've got to stay fresh like that. You know what I mean? When you get together, keep the sort of juices flowing. But yeah, being a touring band, and that we are that. It's very rare that we get anything other than sort of praise for our live stuff. So that's sort of like our main focus as a band. And I mean, it's tough at times, like driving back 3 o'clock in the morning and breaking down the motorways and stuff like that. That is hard, but it's enjoyable. Do you know what I mean? As there's ups and downs, probably the same as any other job. We're just happy that we get the chance to share these things. It all sort of it all doesn't. All the downtimes are outweighed by the ups of being on stage and seeing that your songs and your performances like mean something to people. Like yesterday, there was 4 sort of, how old are they? Between 5 and 10,
yeah,
4 kids,
primary,
like primary school kids who they said they'd had the local school must have had an inset day. One of the parents told us, so they all come down and 2 out of the 4 of them had made their own t-shirts because we don't do kid sizes. So, when that sort of happens, when you sort of make an impact on people's lives, in the same breath, there was a couple who were about 65, 70 who come down because they love our songs, and like that sort of outweighs any of the arguments that you have on the road or any of the mishaps that happen along the way.
I kind of like the adversity sometimes. Like, I think it makes a better story. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, you can make a film about it.
At the time, I think a couple of years ago, at the time when it happened, I'd be proper like down about it, and then obviously you have the big ups that would make it all good. But now, whenever anything kind of stupid happens, it's almost just like I feel like you're living in a comedy sometimes. You know what I mean?
Spinal Tap. Yeah.
Before this in-store tour, I need to get some money in for some food this week because we're not getting paid till the end of the month from the band, and I got a flat tire on the way home at 2 a.m. from a bar shift, just getting some cash in hand work, and I was just laughing my head off because I was just getting rain pouring down on me, and I just thought, this is hilarious. Like, I can't really be down because I'm playing the arena in a month. So like,
yeah, it's going to be 7,000, 8,000 people.
But at the same time, I think Coldplay definitely didn't have to do this.
Yeah, I was going to come on to that because that's pretty momentous occasion, is it? The 5th of April, you guys will become officially an arena-sized band. I mean, what's your feelings going into this? It's a lot of years of hard work have come to this point. It's the band's proudest moment to date, I guess, right?
Yeah, it's very proud that it's our show as well, and it's not that we've like a lot of bands get to get a taste of that arena when they're doing support tours, and like they build up to that moment. And for us, we've never really done that. We've been on a couple of support tours, like not massive, huge ones, but big enough. Done Brixton, like with Circwaves, which that was a great moment. But and that probably was one of our highlights until this came up. You know, like to be able to do a show like this, and it was almost like it wasn't really a shock when it came to it. You could see it coming. Like last year, it was almost on our lips a bit, wasn't it? And then we did the Bootle Salt and Tar because it was just such a good opportunity in our local area as well. And it was a great size for what we were doing at the time. It sold out quick, which is always a good look and always something you want as a band. But like we knew that once we'd done that, the conversation would be what next. And we all knew what was on people's lips. And it was great because we got to do it with Revo, the promoter who did our first gig at the Zanzibar as well. So he's been able to come up with us, and it's his first arena show that he's putting on as well. So that's like, I don't know, it's really nice that like it's not just the band who get to do this, it's everyone around us. It's almost like a bit of a celebration of the whole team, really.
And it's the whole team within Red Rum Club and the extended family and stuff, but it's also like, you know, walking around the city and people sort of recognise you and say, oh yeah, I'm coming to the show, I'm coming. Even last night in Birmingham, there's people coming up from Birmingham saying, yeah, we can't miss that one. That one's like an arena, hometown arena show for a band. You know, that is the stuff dreams are made of. I don't want to bring myself to believe it's actually happening. I just want to get it done, and then that's off the list. I'll enjoy it after that. But yeah, I suppose it means we've made a bit of an impact a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah, it definitely hasn't sunk in yet. Like, I mean, there's so much to do before then, isn't there?
Yeah,
like,
we've got to make it there first.
Yeah, that's like always what we keep telling ourselves, because can't get too ahead of ourselves, like, because otherwise it won't happen. Yeah, literally, it's got to keep our heads focused and straight. But it's a really great thing to be focusing on when you've got like some, like you say, adversities like that we faced getting to this point. Even, you know what I mean? It's just
you'll be able to get your tire fixed.
Yeah, can't wait. Recycling back from that arena, happy man.
Oh, I'm so happy for you guys because you've definitely worked hard for it, and you do feel like sometimes when you're in a band that other bands leapfrog you in terms because of the power of the machine they've got behind them, but your head of steam is. Yeah, the thing is, your head of steam is totally organic, and I've seen your careers grow from playing venues like the Zanzibar and whatever, and the toilet tours, as it's called, but it's getting bigger and bigger, and an extra 100 cap every time you go around, and now you got the arena tour, and no matter what happens, after this record release, you'll always have the poster from the arena show, your first ever arena show, on your wall. You've got those kids wearing Red Rum Club homemade t-shirts. They might go on and form a band because they're inspired by you. There's going to be 1,000 people in that room inspired and sending love across, a room. I mean, whatever happens after these next couple of months, what a thing to look back on so far, right?
That's the most important thing, being in a band. Like, you've always got to be hungry for what you haven't got, but you can't ever forget about all the stuff, because it's high quality life stuff that, you know what I mean? Like, even just you listing them, then it does kind of make you feel a bit emotional just hearing all that. Like, it's very important to recognize that, and especially when you're doing it, like, be in that moment. Definitely, like, we'll definitely make the most of that arena show. Like, and it's gonna be a big family event, isn't it?
Yeah, and then what?
Yeah, and then what?
Just world domination again. That's what you got to do. Yeah, It's go around again, make another record. Before you go, guys, how are you celebrating on Friday with the record release? Have you thought about this?
So we've got a party in Liverpool in the Art Bar Baltic. It was just going to be a friends and family thing, but we've put it up on social media because we've got some interesting things going on there. Like, you're going to do a DJ set.
I'm ready.
Neil's going to make margaritas. Friends, family, fans, if anyone wants to come, there's going to be probably some like little snippets of demos and unseen stuff and unheard stories. There's going to be a few people performing. Spin, another band that we know, friends of ours, Flodello. They're going to do an acoustic set. We might jump up if we've had a beer or two and do a few songs. But yeah, it's just going to be feel good, whatever will be night. The pressure will be off that night.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, we're not the biggest band in the world, but we've got our solid fans. It's nice to be able to share that with them and just be able to put on an event and it not have to be too crazy or anything. Like it'll be a very friendly event. It won't get too intense. Well, I hope not, but I don't know. It'll just be a nice little thing to be able to celebrate with people. And we're a bit sick of selling things at the moment with the album, so it's nice for it just to be a free show, just to people to come along and just kind of like be with us and enjoy that moment with us, at least share a little bit of it. Yeah.
Right, guys. Well, you've got to go off and sell some things in an in-store right now in Sheffield. So we'll let you get off. We'll let you get off. Francis and Joe, thanks for catching up with us here on Amazing Radio, and we wish you well for Friday's release.
Nice one, Frankie. Cheers.